Sharp Game here, back with another video. How do you get women to fantasize about you to the extent that she would sleep with you? Well, I got a question. I got an email from somebody a couple of days ago. And they wanted to know, how do you get women to fantasize about you to the extent that she wants to sleep with you, have sex with you? And that's a good question. So this is kind of advanced. And I've created a whole product about this. And I'll be sure to put that at the bottom of this video. But I'm gonna give you a taste of what I did and the experiences that I've had doing this. And I had like one of my girl's friend. Actually, this happened to me probably 2 or 3 times. But one of my girl's friend, this friend sticks out more because this is actually happening today. And since we moved to Atlanta like 4 years ago, one of my girl's friends is she's a pretty cool girl. She's overly friendly, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. She's very friendly. She's a very likable person. She loves to touch and hug and loves to talk. Well, at least loves to talk to me. I don't know about anybody else. But when she comes over, she likes to she goes out. It seems like she goes out of her way to see how I'm doing and see what's going on with me, which is kind of unusual because most of my girl's friends, they don't do that. They don't get in conversations with me at all, if any. So one of the things that you have to realize is there's like 3 to 4 steps you have to take to get a woman to fantasize about sleeping with you, regardless if it's a friend of a friend or just a woman you're talking to directly. So the first thing you must do is you have to build rapport with the person, and this could take a while, depending on the circumstances and how y'all met and where y'all met, and if it's a friend of through a friend of a friend or at work or wherever. And you have to build a relationship, build rapport with the person, get to know them, and have them get to know you. And there's no time limit. You can't put a time sticker on how long it takes to build rapport and to have someone feel comfortable with you. I wish it was a time sticker, but unfortunately it's not. And the second thing you must do is you have to use vague language, meaning that you got to keep her guessing. You got to have her imagine or what you might be thinking, or what you might be saying, or what you meant by this, or what you meant by that. So you can't be direct. Very little, if any. So in other words, say for instance, we had a cookout, a barbecue, and it's getting warm out, warm and warm outside now because it's summer. It's spring, right? So I told my girl, I said, hey, why don't you invite your friend over? We can hang out, have a good time, or whatever. So when she comes over, she doesn't really. All she knows is we're having a cookout, but she doesn't know how it's gonna be. Or I'll say, hey, why don't you invite her over to the house? But when she comes over, she doesn't really know what's going on until she gets here. So a lot of times we'll be cooking some food or something like that. Or if she's in the area, I'll tell her to stop through if she's near, or I'll say, when she gets here sometimes, I'll say, hey, you're always welcome to come over anytime you would like. Now, she doesn't really know what that means. And I'm not really telling her what that really means. I'm just saying you always welcome to come over. You're a friend of the family. We love you, blah, 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 this and that or whatever. That's kind of vague. That could mean anything. I mean, anybody could be like family. So, but to her, it might mean something else. Because if someone will say, hey, you're like family to me, that could mean anything. But the idea is to let her figure out what you meant by that, instead of you being direct about it. And then the third thing is you should have neutral energy. You shouldn't be aggressive. You shouldn't make any sexual advances or say anything that make her think that you're trying to advance sexually as well. Now, everything should be natural, like a natural progression. Nothing should be obvious. Nothing should be direct. Everything should be subtle. If you're going to do anything, it should be subtle. Like, for example, this is something that I do, but sometimes I get caught up in the moment sometimes. Like, for example, if one of my girls, let's say if two of my girls' friends come over, right? And let's say I haven't seen them in a long time. So my natural instinct is to hug them, or in some type. My natural instinct is to give them a hug, right? That's just how I am as a person, right? I was raised that way. I can't help it. That's just natural for me. But that might not be natural to them, which is okay most of the time, because we've built up a rapport that I can get away with it, right? So I'll give one girl a hug, and I might give the other girl a kiss maybe on the neck. Now, I've actually done this, but I didn't realize what I just did until after the fact. But based on her response from the kiss on the neck, she didn't have a problem with it. So you gotta kind of be careful, because it might backfire on you. So this is why building the rapport with the person is very important. It's key. It's absolutely critical, because if you haven't built the rapport with the woman, it could go bad. You could get a negative response. Now, this type of thing has happened to me. I've done this many times, but I didn't have any intent of having sex with a lot of these women. I just did it because it's a natural thing that I do. I give people hugs. Like, for example, one of my girlfriends came over, and she was actually, when I gave her a hug, she was actually cooking. She was stirring up something on the stove, and I gave her a hug from the back and kissed her on the neck. And I tried to catch myself, but it was too late. And then, but it happened so quick. It's like I said, I kind of got carried away. But after I let go, and I went to the refrigerator, opened the refrigerator, and I noticed her response, she didn't have a problem with it. And then my girlfriend and another girl was sitting down at the table. So they didn't have a problem with it either. And my girlfriend, she didn't have a problem with it. And I do this every time. Damn near every time they come over. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you can get away with kissing a woman on the neck and not get a bad response, there's a good chance you can take it further. I'm going to say that again. If you can get away with kissing a woman on the neck and not get a bad response, there's a good chance you can take it further. But you have to build a rapport first. And in order for you to take things to the next level, the woman has to feel like it's her idea and not yours. Because women are very emotional. So you have to tap into those emotions that she has. Because you don't really know what's going on with her in her life. Maybe she's stressed out about her job. Maybe she's stressed out about her relationship. Maybe she's stressed out about being overworked. Or maybe she has a baby and she don't get enough sleep at night. So you don't really know what she has going on in her personal life. But this is why you have to build the rapport. And it's kind of like having a one-night stand. When you have a one-night stand, it's the same concept. The woman has to feel like it's her idea, and she has to feel like she's not being used. If you can get past those hurdles, I would call them, you can take things to the next level. Because I've done it time after time. I know guys that done it time after time. But it's just absolutely critical. You have to build a rapport. You have to. You can't get around that. And this is why most guys drop the ball, because they don't know how to build a rapport, or either they just lazy and don't want to take the time. So that's how you have a woman fantasize about you, in a nutshell. So if you like what you heard, man, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my blog at chooseyourrelationships.com, and I'll be sure to put the link to the product that I created, that I go in great details about how to have one night stands and have a woman fascinated about you and everything. So until next time, my name is Mr. Sharp Game. Peace and love.